Hello, our friends. And this podcast, this episode, is sponsored by Hella Nutrition. Tell us, Cass, why we love Hella Nutrition.
All right. So Hella Nutrition has all clean ingredients. No added sugar, and no experimental ingredients. So it's a nice, clean lifestyle supplement. They have all kinds of supplements that you can add into your life, like pre-workout, post-workout, BCAAs.
I am drinking the BCAAs as we speak. Peach Party.
It's
so good.
So good because I was a little hesitant. I've tried
BCAAs
a lot
can be a little funky sometimes.
Yes, and I've tried a lot of products, and the second I tried that, I was like, oh, this is so legit.
Good. Flavor is good, texture is good, because some of the BCAAs tend to be a little grainy, I feel like. This is as smooth as could be. The flavor is so good. Why do you need BCAAs? Well, you need it for muscle recovery. You need it for just to not get sore, you know? So, and it helps build lean muscle, and
I also love that it ups your hydration for the day.
Oh, yeah.
So check it out at hellanutrition.com.
Yep, and their Instagram is Hella_nutrition. Check them out there. And we have a discount code for you. Little Bits of Awesome. Ooh, Pidge, he piped in. 15% off with Little Bits of Awesome.
And it is Cass and M approved.
Oh, yeah. Cheers.
All right, everybody, welcome to today's episode of Little Bits of Awesome.
Hey, hey, hey.
That freaking rock star over there, that's my sister, Miss Emily Ingeman.
I felt like you had to think about that one for a minute.
What is your name?
That's right. Hello, my sister, Cass.
What's up?
It does feel like it's been a while since I've seen you. You went out of town for just a few days, and it felt like a month.
A really long time, right?
Isn't
Did
that
you miss
weird?
me?
Oh, I missed you terribly.
It's weird. When I go out of town, she forgets I exist.
That's not true. I give her up to the people she's with for
that is
quality
so kind.
time. I know.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, listen, for the years of traveling on the road in a foreign country, it's not kind to feel like I've been forgotten. It was not kind.
No, but listen,
Gotta give the people what they want.
You do. But this is the thing: is she was traveling the world. Okay, so in traveling the world, what comes with that? Different countries, different time zones. I can't do the math. I didn't know where she was half the time, so I would think, okay, should I text her right now? Well, I have no idea. Is it the next day? Is it the middle of the night? It was hard.
My phone's been on silent for at least 10 years. So you can text me at any given moment. But that's awesome. I was able to go celebrate my friend Megan. We have been best friends since 3rd grade.
That's so awesome.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Do you have a friend like that, Pidge? You go all the way back?
I have a friend from 3rd grade, and I am going to a golf tournament this year with him and his family.
That's adorable.
Oh, that's amazing.
Those kind of relationships are priceless, you know? You got to nurture them.
Also, that's just a shout out to my wife. I don't know if she knows about that.
Oh,
she does now.
there we go. Well, hey, who's going to turn down a little getaway, right? Is it fun things in store?
It's in the Ozarks.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Have you ever been there before?
Yeah, but I was like knocking doors, so it wasn't.
Yeah, that was actually the first family vacation I went on being married to Brian's family because they originally are from St. Joseph, Missouri. Not originally, but when I came into the picture.
That's where they were living.
And we went to Lake of the Ozarks. But
that's like a destination spot?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a place called like Branson or Branson.
Branson.
It's just south of Springfield.
And what you do there?
That's where like the Lowe's would go. They had a show, a singing musical there in Branson for years.
Vegas of the Midwest.
Yeah.
Yes. You're doing that?
That's a little...
hey, I'll take it. It
gave
me a visual.
Like a Donnie and Marie
type thing. Theater type city. Oh,
that's a little... So the word I wanted to give, like... That's not a little aggressive. That's not compassionate. That's like a little...
Over the top, maybe?
Over the top, but there's a word.
You know, my father-in-law was the Osmond's manager for years and years and years.
I know. You had, what's his bucket?
David Osmond at our Christmas party. Yeah. Oh,
and in
Voice
fact,
of an angel, that guy.
Oh, my gosh.
Shout
the
out,
talent.
David.
That's right. Hey.
In fact, your father-in-law, there was a Netflix show that I was watching, and in pops Carl Ingeman.
I know. That was for the Beach Boys.
Yep.
Because he signed the Beach Boys, and they were doing just kind of a flashback of kind of how they started and all of that, and
he was
brought him
key
in. They
in
loved
that. Yep.
my father-in-law.
Everybody does.
That is true.
I bet the Beach Boys did a concert at Branson at some
I
point.
believe
I bet they started there.
That's how this all comes back. Yes.
So
okay.
with that trip, so me and all my friends, we're all turning 40 this year.
It's a big one.
And, you know, there were years where I did not go on a girls' trip because I was traveling so much that it just didn't make sense in my life. And I was like, no, we're doing a trip for each of us.
For your 40th birthday.
For our 40th birthday. So we did one for Brittany. And Brittany, Megan, and I have been best friends since 3rd grade. Brittany's my cousin, so she's my first friend that I ever had. I remember meeting her when I was 6. That was
Really?
like my first.
We lived in California and she lived here.
And
in
her
Utah.
parents put her on a flight to come visit.
Oh, I remember very well.
And I was just like, she is the greatest person on
I
the
did not
planet.
realize that was the first time you guys met each other.
From what I can
Because
remember.
you were too little at
Yeah.
a family reunion or something. Yeah.
Maybe I met her when I was like 4 or younger, you know, but that was my
like
first.
your first memory together.
And I just remember like, this girl is so cool. And she came and visited me.
I think
and
she had her ears pierced and you
and she
didn't
had like
yet.
short, cool hair.
How
And
fun.
so we did California. Megan and I showed up on her doorstep. I think I talked about that on the podcast.
Yeah, you did.
And then this time we went to Scottsdale, and it was just like, it was so awesome. It was pretty much like, Meg, what do you want to do? And Megan is so chill that we kind of let Brittany plan it anyway. We were just like, go with the flow, whatever.
She's just happy to have a little getaway.
And it was so funny because Brittany, in her planning, kept
I keep
on
making
getting.
loud noises
Oh, sorry.
over here. I'm sorry.
Brittany, in her planning, kept on getting confused.
On what?
The plans.
She's the planner, yet she
Yes.
couldn't keep the plan straight.
So there were like 2 spas. So there are 2 JW Marriotts in Scottsdale, which is why it's confusing.
Yeah, of course.
And their resorts and their spas. So she's like, okay, guys, I got everything booked at the spa. And it's going to be this great thing. And all of a sudden she's like, oh my gosh, I've got it booked at the wrong spa. So then she switched the reservations over and she'd been gearing Megan up. And she's like, and there's a special treatment just for you, you know, as a birthday bonus.
Yeah.
And come day of the massage, she looks at me as the night before, and Megan's like washing her face, and she goes, I've got really bad news. She goes, that special treatment's at the other massage place.
Oh my gosh.
So when she had called to confirm, she was like, oh, and like, what time is the Reiki specialist appointment for Megan?
Yeah.
And the lady was like, we haven't had a Reiki specialist here in years.
Oh
And she's just
my
panicking.
gosh.
But we
Shoot.
laughed and laughed and laughed. The kind
the
of laughs where
best.
you're trying to go to bed and you just keep getting the giggles.
Oh, the best.
Those are just my favorite types of experiences. And one of the overall like takeaways was, as you get older, and I was listening to a Mel Robbins podcast, as you get older, the fun ends. And you are the facilitator of fun for all your kids. You're planning parties, you're
meaning,
planning
like-
getaways, like in parenthood.
Yeah, yeah. It can end.
Well, for most people, it does.
Yeah.
Unless you realize that you have to be the planner also for yourself. There's no parent planning you, planning your fun anymore.
Yep.
So if you're listening to this and you're like, I'm not having that much fun in my life, well, start planning it. Otherwise, it's not going to happen.
Exactly.
And give yourself opportunities to be silly and dress up and to do the fun things that you encourage your kids to do that you know adds fun to their life.
Yeah, and just brings back the old you
Yep.
know, because you can easily forget that.
Yes.
When you are in the childbearing years and all of that.
Oh, the thick of it.
It made me laugh. There was a time that we were at Zumba convention, just when you were saying the giggling things into the wee hours of the night. What was the scenario where we were staying with Mom, but you and I had gone and we said we were just going to pop into like this after party thing at the Zumba convention. We end up staying out until
Till,
like
like, 3:30.
3:30 in the morning. She has woken up Brian because Brian happened to be there that year. She thought we had been murdered, kidnapped or something. What do you remember the scenario? Because we just laughed and laughed when we came back in. Just the things that Mom was saying to us. Does that not ring a bell?
Oh, it does. I just can't. I'm getting confused with which year when you and I also got the giggles in the hallway and we had to like sit down and brace ourselves.
Oh yeah.
And what's funny is I present at this convention, and like I'm not an alcohol drinker, so the fun and the giggles is just from
It's
sheer
from
exhaustion,
exactly.
and
Lack
fun.
of sleep. Mhm.
And
How
remember,
often do people think like, "Oh my gosh, Cass was so drunk last night"?
I'm
She
sure
was just
that
like,
is
always.
Probably in the majority of our lives, if we go to a function, people are probably thinking that we have had something because how can you
behave
be
that
so
way
weird and be so wild and
Throw
crazy?
caution to the wind.
Yeah, but that has never been the case. But I'm sure it's definitely been accused. We've been
So
accused of
we
it,
were-
I'm
but
sure.
only at karaoke places.
Oh my
I
gosh.
can't wait to see you in a
I
karaoke
have
place.
got to. Pidge has been talking about his karaoke abilities, and we've got to make it happen.
You had a shot.
I
missed it.
know. Dang it.
I'm wondering if I hope that we're not going to be disappointed
Oh
in your
my
karaoke
gosh.
skills.
I don't think so.
Most of the times when something gets hyped up so much,
Yeah, you're let
you're
down.
like way unimpressed by
Yeah.
the time it shows up.
Yeah,
You'll be more impressed.
I love
that's
your
nice.
confidence here. I'm almost wondering if he's playing a trick on us.
He's
like,
joking. He
talk
doesn't
himself
even
up
participate.
so much that he gets up there and he like just talks and doesn't even actually sing. No?
We'll see.
To be determined.
But I have to finish this story.
Yeah.
So we're giggling
Oh my gosh.
and being loud and really being inconsiderate to the people who are sleeping. And this girl,
But we're not trying. We're
No,
not
no,
trying
no.
to. Like, we're just so delirious and laughing so hard. We know that it's late. We know we're in a hall. We know we should behave
which
better,
makes
but
it
we
even
can't
more,
help ourselves.
yeah.
Yeah.
hard
so we
to
weren't trying
control.
to be inconsiderate. It just
And this
was,
girl opens the door and she was like, I don't know if you're aware, but people are trying to sleep in
Oh,
here.
with the most angry look
Tired
on her face. Like, she was
eyes.
so mad at us. Yeah.
And I am like almost peeing my pants on the floor.
that
Yeah.
kind of happened at the office a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I did get
Probably.
shushed.
Oh, we did. We can be shushed almost everywhere we go. Now, Pidge, I want you to really picture this, okay? We're
Two
in
grown
a hotel,
women.
but we had like a friend or two with us. We
Maybe
did.
Angela
we had, like,
and
one of our
Jamie or
friends,
something.
So we're laughing hysterically. We're on the floor of a hotel
Hallway.
aisle, going to our room, trying to make it there, laughing. Everything we say is so hilarious to us that Cass is down on the floor now, just kind of squatting, trying not to wet her pants. Someone opens the hotel room door with as mad as they could and just instantly go, do you guys have any idea what hour it is right now? We're trying to sleep, blah, blah. Until she looks down
And I
Cass
kind of
is
look
like
up.
this, and oh my gosh, I've never seen someone change their demeanor so fast. She went, oh my gosh, oh, I totally understand.
Cass.
Oh
Oh.
my gosh, Cass, oh, you guys.
She's famous.
Oh yeah, like this woman was gonna give it to us, and
Oh,
she already
yeah.
was into it. You know, like she'd seen our faces, and she was just gonna drill us. And then she got one glimpse of Cass down there, and her demeanor switched like I have never seen. And it was just like,
she just on a dime.
oh
bam.
my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I know it's okay, you know, forgave us immediately.
Good luck tomorrow. I'll see
Yeah,
you in your
yeah,
session.
yeah.
You know, but it was just.
Oh, it was
She
funny.
tried to join in.
She
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
And all of a sudden, she's on the floor with me. We're rolling around. We're laughing. We're
She
giggling.
was like, oh wait, this is what's happening with Cass. Let me grab my shoes. Yeah.
Seriously. So I think that
Yeah.
that is something that I look forward to on any trip like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you pay the price for staying up later,
Oh,
but
yeah.
having that opportunity to laugh and laugh and laugh,
It's so good. You got to make time for that.
you
in
have
your
to
life.
make time for that. I was just saying that you and I need a sleepover
Let's make it happen.
and
Let's
just
make it happen.
laugh.
Well, that's
Mhm.
awesome is similar to that. My best friend since we were 15 went to lunch. We live around here, but life is so busy. We both have 5 kids. And
It's impossible.
It's like so impossible to coordinate our schedules. But she came to my class on Friday. We went to lunch afterward. And we stayed at Chipotle for 5.5 hours in the same spot, in the same table. And the time just flew by, you know? And as we left, we got back on the phone to each other as we're
Yeah.
talking to each other on the way home. But it was just, you know, a great reminder of just that great connection. You were having the same thing happening in Arizona. These are relationships that will last
Matter.
forever and really, really matter. And you can just talk about everything and nothing for hours and hours and hours.
And there's always a million excuses, like even leading up to the day, like, oh, I don't know if
Yeah.
I can make it. I don't know if I might have to cancel.
Mm-hmm.
And just quit talking yourself out of the fun and the love in your life.
Yeah. Today, we demand it.
Today.
Okay, today's quote is going to go right into our topic, but I actually have two. The first one is advice that they're both advice actually, but they're kind of
That you're giving me?
No, giving everybody. Okay. So the first one is self-love will heal you, empower you, restore you, open up new worlds within you and all around you. Self-love is the key to your mental, spiritual, and emotional health. Amen.
Amen. Can I get an amen?
Can I get an amen? And so we're going to talk about self-love. Today is February 1st.
Yeah.
And as you know, from here on out throughout the month, you're going to see hearts everywhere.
That's right.
Everywhere, and talk all about love and a lot of
Some
that.
people don't like Valentine's because
I
it's always
know.
a reminder of not
the
having
lack of the relationship
Yeah.
that they have or whatever.
So Galentine's has been a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Get your
what
gals.
part of that book would you be in right now?
Oh.
I'm thinking, just the second month of the book. I
Just a
should
little bit
refer to that
past-
today. Just
little bit
slightly
past
down because it's
January.
the second month of the year. Okay, I think
Uh-huh.
so far so good.
And
Once you guys
actually-
gave me some pointers.
As we're recording this on February 1st, but
Oh, true. You will listen to it on February 2nd.
you'll listen to it on
the
February
message
2nd.
is all the same, though.
But the greatest love that will benefit you in life
Mm-hmm.
is to love yourself
Absolutely.
and to prioritize yourself, because you truly cannot give love. Like, I think of my marriage.
Mm-hmm.
If I am really, really just, I don't like me, I'm going to be shorter with Brian. I'm going to be snippy with him. I'm not going to be as like doting on him. I'm not
Mhm.
going to be looking for the goodness in him, because I'm not even in the process, like in the thought, in the routine of finding the goodness in anybody.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It absolutely starts with you and your happiness there. And if you aren't telling yourself all of these things, then the energy that you give out to others it funnels out into everything. And I was reading an article and I loved because she put it into it was about self-love, but she put it into two different categories of how to improve your self-love. Because people that are listening, I think we all can work on this, right?
Yep.
This is not something that you
Oh, it's
one
a
day-
daily
It's
thing.
a daily thing.
Because you mess up in life every day.
And then you start beating yourself up
Yeah.
about your shortcomings or whatever. So this is for all of us. But I love that she put it into two different categories. One was how to love yourself by changing how you think about yourself. And then the other one was how to love yourself by changing the way you treat yourself.
Yeah.
So there's kind of two aspects there. And if you find yourself being too hard on yourself, too busy by other obligations and by giving to other people, that you aren't even listening to yourself and your own needs, negative thoughts, you don't prioritize yourself. I think you need to dial in, kind of self-reflect and look within yourself and start making some changes inward,
Yep.
right?
One of the key things I always think about is, how do you like welcome yourself into every day?
Mm-hmm.
And people don't realize what a damper this is, like on the mood. You wake up, the first thing you do is you roll out of bed, you look in the mirror, you're brushing your teeth, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, look at those bags under my eyes. Oh, I look so tired. Oh, my face is broken out. Look at my hair. Wow, I feel really bloated. I shouldn't have had that pizza last night. I need to get to the gym. I need to do this. I should have done that. And I just think, like, imagine if the self-talk, the negative self-talk is how I rolled over and I said, hey, Emily.
Yeah.
And I just
You look
cut
horrible.
you down.
Yeah.
Wow, those bags on your eyes. Oh my gosh, look at your hair. You would never want to hang out with me.
Mm-mm. That's a great way to be. If we can always think, okay, how would I treat my friend? How would I treat someone that I love? I mean, we would treat ourselves very differently if that was always
And the worst part is,
the priority.
it's such an inward thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can be slapping a smile on your face and going through the physical motions of
Oh,
what
yeah.
self-love looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And you can be so negative.
Still beating yourself
In
up
your thoughts.
internally.
And
Yeah.
so I did this. I used to always look in the mirror, and because of an insecurity about my legs, I was like, the first thing I analyzed was like my
Mhm.
forehead and my legs. the insecurities that I've had since a child because somebody teased me about it when I was really young. And rather than looking at myself and intentionally trying to find my flaws, I just had to pick a new mantra.
Right.
And so what I wanted to do was to appreciate the things that I love about my body. Like, am I skipping ahead?
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
My legs have done so much for me.
Yeah, just switching. It's the same. You're focusing on the same thing with a completely different twist on it.
They show up for me
Gratitude
every day. My legs show up every single day. Not one day have they just said, nope, I'm not coming in today. I'm calling in sick.
They may be sore.
They may be sore.
Stepping up to
They're
the plate.
still there. And they make my life possible.
Absolutely.
And they've taken me around the world. They've carried babies. They've gone through all these, when you really look at your body, this physical thing that you are in, day out, the fact that it shows up for you every single day. And what do? We notice the flaws. We notice the skin hanging here or there. We notice the pudginess, the puffiness, whatever it is. And that epiphany changed everything for me.
Oh, yeah. I think everybody can do that. It's just, what are the things that are running in your head constantly? The negative thoughts.
Get curious about them. Like,
yes.
Who told you that? And why did you believe them?
And why are you giving energy to that? And in this article, what I loved is, so she's saying, how do we improve self-love in the way that we think? So she gives us a couple ideas. So one is, number one, and all of these things, when you read them, you just think, well, yeah, we hear it all the time. I know.
Yeah.
But you just have to practice these things daily to actually make them part of who you are and actually change the way that you're behaving so that you have more self-love. So anyway, so it says, okay, we have to accept ourselves. We have to realize that we are worthy of love. We have to recognize our strengths and be okay with our weaknesses. We have to stop comparing and racing against others by looking inward to seek and see what our purpose is. All of us, that's the thing, is you say that comparison is the thief of joy.
Yep.
And it absolutely is. And if we spent as much time as we do comparing to others and trying to compete with other people, if you would look inward, what are our gifts? What is our purpose?
I was talking to a client that I'm coaching, and she was saying that a time hop keeps coming up, and she used to be healthier than she is now. And when we talk about comparison, we oftentimes think of other people.
Right.
But you can be comparing your now to your old self. And there's seasons for different growth. And sometimes when you're going through a lot of things internally, emotionally, and mentally, your physical side can fall by the wayside. And it's not always in a good congruency or alignment with each other. And so if you find yourself comparing yourself to yourself, take the time hop off. Because I used to do that. I went through a phase where I was like, oh, I'm feeling super lean. And I went through a phase where I was like, man, I'm just when in Rome, eating whatever. And then I would go back to those events where I knew I looked sleek. And then you just beat yourself up.
Pick yourself apart. Something that I read that was about that very same thing, when you find yourself comparing to your weaknesses or the past or things that you did, if you can shift your thinking to still thinking about those moments, but shifting your thinking to what can I learn from that?
Yeah.
And how can I grow from that? Instead of just beating yourself up over and over again because it happened, that is something that we can't ever change. The past is the past.
Yep.
Our flaws and the things that we've done, that's always going to be there. But if you change your perspective and go, okay, that happened. That's part of me. That's helped me get to where I am today. So what can I take from that and learn from that and grow from that? So when you find yourself in that situation again, you'll handle it better.
I mean, that's your only option. And I think that comes with forgiving yourself. That's one of the points from the article, is you have to forgive yourself for the things that you do, the dumb things that you do all the time because that's what we do.
And how forgiving are you of your friend? How forgiving are you of your child? But yet we're going to beat ourselves up over and over again over the things that we've done in the past. So forgiveness is huge. Focus on the positive, and this will help you with situations in the future, you know? Can I help you, sister? You need some,
Well, look.
do we have some technical? Okay, you fixed our screen.
I hope I fixed the screen the correct way.
Yep. Okay, and then we talked about stopping, comparing.
This chair.
These chairs are a little high in the pod
wow.
box, and you have to kind of like hoist yourself up.
Yes, sorry
she
about
made
that,
it, guys. She made it. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is, okay, so again, this is all helping us shift our thinking so we can have more self-love. And it's keeping a positive mindset. I mean, the whole like affirmation, the positive affirmation thing is something we have to do. You talk about how you've looked at the legs in a negative way. Now you're going to look at the legs in a positive way. Every day we need to remind ourselves of what we have to give, what purpose that we have to play, and focus on the things that we have to give that are positive, you know, because the alternative is sitting there and picking yourself apart and beating yourself up for the negative things or your faults. I mean, get you nowhere. You know?
It's going to just keep you swirling, keep you spiraling, and you're not going to take action with that type of mentality.
Mm-hmm.
All of these things are the daily practices that happy, successful people do.
Yeah.
And I found that when I'm going through my day, just really, because I think that women in general have a hard time with like body image, and they feel like, I know that there's so many women, like after they have a baby, they're like, what is all the fuss about the bounce back? Like, what is that?
Yeah.
And why is there such a social like pressure to bounce back after you just grew a human?
That is so true.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
we're on someone made some designated timeline, you know.
And it was a clever magazine article.
Yeah. And this person probably was what's photoshopped in all the images who supposedly bounce back anyway, and they don't show all of the reality of it all.
And your body is not going to respond if you're just constantly feeding it negativity. It's like those plants. And your body is made of water, just like a plant is made of water. Like the majority
of it is
water. And water responds and moves according to different energy. And if you have two different plants, and one of them you feed them the same amount of sunlight, and one of them you speak nice, beautiful, kind things to. And the other plant, you tear it down, you say the negative things, you beat it up. That positive affirmations plant will grow and thrive, and the negative one will shrink and die. And so many times people are doing the physical things to try and get change.
Yeah.
And they're forgetting that is the key. That is the cornerstone of holding everything up, is what you're saying inside. Your mindset will affect every other thing that you're doing.
Well, I also think, I mean, the physical element is all part of it too, because as I was reading in this article, it talks a lot about, so how do you treat yourself if you love yourself? And that definitely falls into getting the appropriate rest, exercising, fueling your body with good food, because all of that plays into having the energy. And because when you're exhausted and you're beaten down and you're not feeding your body this way, you're way more prone to be telling yourself all the negative things. So it definitely works hand in hand. And that's why I love that she kind of put it in two different categories. Because some people might think, you know, self-love is, well, I need to make sure I have a pedicure and go to the spa once a month or something like that. And all of those things are great. Like you had this girls' weekend. All of that is part of self-love.
We were at the spa. We did a sound bath meditation, which was hilarious because it was
awkward.
Well, okay, so I've never done one of those.
Yeah.
And this was one of the
bowls and the whole
and
thing.
they have chimes and like rain things and gong.
Were you guys creating the sound or okay?
So it's like a meditation thing that you can go to. So this was one of the things that Brittany had planned, and it just like didn't quite work out.
Again.
So, but this one was not her fault. So she'd called, and she confirmed that sound bath was at 12.
Yes.
So I woke up earlier. I was working out at the gym. The girls had slept in. I get a call. It's 9:20, and
Sound
Britt's
bath
like,
has started.
I got bad news. Sound bath is starting at 9:30. And I was like, perfect, I'll come back and change.
Yeah.
Megan felt like she'd just been like tossed.
Just right out of
the
bed.
covers ripped off of her, shoved out the door. So we go to the sound bath. We get there like right on the nose, 9:30. There's 6 people. They're laid out all cozy.
In the zone.
They have mats. They have blankets. They have cushions for their heads.
They brought all of this from home?
They were provided.
Oh, okay, good. Because I was like, you guys did not come with pillows, cushions, blankets.
No. And nor were there any more left.
Oh.
So we're like grabbing, there were mats. So we're grabbing these like thin yoga mats.
Okay.
And at first we were grabbing one.
Just
and I was
the
like,
rejects for sure.
Oh. And I'm telling you, we got there like, maybe it was 9:32 and not a second later.
Yeah.
So we're each grabbing 2 mats and one to kind of roll under our head and like then the end of the other one under our feet. And it was ice cold.
In the room?
In the room.
That doesn't sound
ice,
relaxing and
not at all.
Oh my.
So unbeknownst to each of us, we were all suffering that entire 50-minute meditation. And I'm like, I can't
even
concentrate
get in the zone when you're
on
hypothermic.
anything.
Yeah.
But the fact that I've got goosebumps head to toe, it was
That's
so
wrong.
cold. It was a full body goosebump experience. Like not just the arms, not just the legs, especially I'd
Were
just
the
been running
sounds
it.
playing into giving you chills or just the
It was
the thermostat?
sheer temperature chills.
Oh my gosh.
I couldn't even get into the zone, not
No,
once.
no.
I just wanted the thing
Someone
to end.
give me a parka and a hot tea.
And so I looked over at Megan and I saw that her arms were crossed and she's kind of like rubbing her arm. And I was like, okay, so she's probably cold. By the time, and I kind of like peeked up with one eye. Oh my gosh, I've got
so
20 more
eyes stay
minutes of this.
closed during the entire.
Yeah, I tried.
Oh my gosh. No.
So
I'm
when that thing
picturing
was
warm
over,
and cozy, it's got to be the case with the humming and the ringing. And
yes, and after they do like a ching
Mhm.
to wake you up as if you've gone to like a deep meditation. I was like, this thing's over. I'm rolling up this mat. I'm getting the heck out of here. And I was like, guys, that was really hard to meditate, right? Were you cold or was it just me? Because I was like that post-running cold.
Yeah.
And
you
they
still
were
wearing
like,
your sweaty sports bra?
no, I had changed.
Okay.
But I was still in my leggings.
Mm-hmm.
So
why
we
didn't anyone
sat
say,
there,
hey, too cold?
let's go. I know.
Yeah.
We sat there and we got warm tea for about an hour. And we were
Yes.
putting the glasses, like the mugs on our cheeks.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it was.
Did other people have like blankets or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we got there 2 minutes after 9:30.
Okay, so you
everybody
think that
had
made the difference?
Oh,
Why do you have to be fully like covered? Like, why can't they turn up the heat a little for?
it should have
people's
been a room that
comfort?
was like 90 something degrees.
Yeah, just like warm and cozy to take you to just
take you to another land.
Yes.
I'm like, I didn't sort through not one problem,
No.
and I have got a whole new
were just
list
like-
of things that I'm going to be working
like
on.
every second was just.
I tried to like sort through a problem, and I'm like, wow,
Oh
just
my
getting like
gosh.
more and
Were
more
you
mad
really
about
trying
it.
to dial in though, like mentally,
Oh,
just
I was trying
really
to be
work
like,
through some trauma.
okay, just what are the things that
Oh.
are beautiful in my life?
Oh my
It
gosh,
was so
that's terrible.
it was so cold.
That reminds me of my MRI. I mean, the mental power of just don't open your eyeball. Yet your mind is telling you, I have to open my eye right now.
I have to open
I
my
think there's something
eyes.
in my eye. And the whole time I am trying to just survive.
Yep.
Survive. And it was the longest 45 minutes of my life.
Where
you
your
know?
hands aren't strapped down.
No, but you feel very strapped. But my hand, I could move my body, but it was the brain that they were looking at. So you could not move your head. And of course, my hair was stuffed in this cage.
Stuffing that head in anything.
Oh my gosh. Like, had I known, I would have worn my hair in the tightest braids.
Yep.
So she was literally going like this and just tucking it.
Trying to tuck that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Great hair. Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks. Can I help you please with my hair? That was like,
Yeah.
it's like when you're laying down and you've got just like a couple tickles on your
No,
face,
it's
and you're just like,
terrible.
just close your eyes and go to bed, and you can't.
No, because you know it's there. So did
Oh.
you guys pay a pretty penny for
Okay,
this?
so back to the spa thing.
Yeah.
So we did the sound bath in the morning. I got to go back for a new experience because people talk about a sound bath like it's heaven on
Amazing.
earth.
Yeah.
We went and we hurried and checked out and just circled right back around. And we got there about like 12:10. And then we stayed until 6:30.
Whoa. You did circle back and come back to the sound
So we
bath?
did the sound bath, no. But
Oh.
then we did the sound bath. We came back to the spa.
This is all, okay, self-care, self-love spa
Yes,
day.
yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
And we stayed there for an additional 6.5 hours. So
Are
they
you
check
paying
you
by the
in.
hour?
No, you check in. We had a treatment at 4:30. So you can come. You can check in. You can do the sauna. You can do the steam room. You can do the hot tub. You can do the lounge area. You can do the meditation area. You can go out by the pool. You can order food.
Wonderful.
I was in so much heaven.
Did you do all the things?
All the things.
Really?
And I got a massage, and I loved my massage was incredible, just the right amount of like pressure. And what I loved, if you are a masseuse, listen up.
She's going to give you a tip or two.
Yes.
Dropping gems.
Oh, there we
Uh-huh.
go.
For you, all you masseuses out there,
Yep.
listen
For you
here.
specifically, a gem is about to be dropped.
I loved that the lady said, she had a very sing-song voice. Cass, what are we expecting and what are we hoping to get from this massage today?
Oh my gosh.
And I said, I want to turn my brain off, which is code for
I'm not talking
don't
to
ask
you,
me
not
a
for 1
single
second.
question.
Yeah.
And I want you just to make me feel like a new woman. I haven't had a massage since I was pregnant. I had a baby. This body is wrecked. And she did a fantastic job. And then it was again at the sing song at the end. Cass, whispering in my ear.
Did you sleep? Did you fall asleep?
Yeah, I on each like extremity, I
Yeah.
did have like a little
And
sleep.
you woke up to the song.
Yeah.
The sing song.
I always have
What
a
a
fear
funny thing.
when you're getting a massage and if you fall asleep and you're just really relaxed.
Oh, all things are released?
I just don't want to accidentally fart when I'm getting a massage.
No.
Tell me,
no.
tell me that's a fear though.
Well, I rarely have a massage, but
Listen, we've been having like lots
Listen.
of edamame
Listen.
and hummus.
oh yeah, things to really work the digestion. No, when I go to the physical therapist and he bends you in half and then big,
Yeah.
you know, I am just like, please, oh please, because that's not
Help
going to be a
me.
relaxed
Keep-
release.
keep
That
me
is going
tight.
to be just like
Keep
a
me
horn,
tight.
you know?
Yes.
Oh, I even have to talk to him about it. Like, I am really trying here just to hold all things together. You know?
tell him
Oh
that?
yeah, and he's like, oh, it happens all the time. It's not happened to me, but believe me, the fear
That
is. Just
yeah.
think of it. Cross that knee over, and he's
Just-
got you in a full press, and, and I'm just like, please,
I
no.
don't want
I will
to fart
never
in your
come
face
back
because
again.
then, depending on,
Oh,
you might be stuck in a bomb.
just you and the person have to just sit in the cloud for as long as it lasts.
Nobody wants to be in a cloud. And
The
I say,
look on Pigeon's face right now, he's like, how did we go here?
I
And
think
we're
the one
talking
of the
about it.
worst things
Yeah.
in the world is smelling a fart of someone you don't love.
Of course. Of course.
If it's someone you love, you're like, dude, you stink.
It's still terrible, but the unknown,
the
I'm just kind
unknown.
of like, oh, I just can't. Yeah. You don't know where
Have
it
you
came
ever
from.
been worried about being cranked in half and
When you were getting your shoulder work done
Yeah.
recently, did you have any stress of releasing?
were you really?
I mean, it's not really near the same area.
It doesn't
True.
matter.
But, you know,
It doesn't
sometimes when you're
matter.
under a lot of stress, you know, it can happen.
I'll remember.
No, I get it. I mean,
You
Yeah.
get it. You know where we're
I
coming
understand.
from. Mhm.
Now,
didn't know
just
we were getting there.
imagine.
Yeah. Can't
Just
believe
imagine
we're talking
having an
about it.
epidural.
I'd rather not.
Yeah.
An
This-
epidural.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are fully relaxed. You can't even dream.
I like to believe that
It's never happened.
Nothing happened during the epidural time.
Oh, we have a friend. She was a labor and delivery
Other
nurse
than
for 25.
giving birth to a child, but nothing inappropriate or that would make me be gross. Or
That would
anything
make
like
her
that.
look
Yeah.
less than
Girls don't
beautiful.
Yes,
toot.
yes.
Girls
Yes.
don't toot or poop.
Exactly.
We have different,
Let's just clear that up.
a
Yeah,
whole different.
yeah.
So when we're talking about the looseness, that's like, just.
Okay, we're coming back to our point. We
But
are no
I
longer.
did not.
Oh,
I fell
shoot.
asleep, and I successfully entered
That
without
you know.
any cloud. No, I know.
That you know of. We should ask singer song.
It wasn't
bird.
sing song lady.
They have like
Cass,
a cold room.
you
where they have,
farted
like,
during our massage today. Did you find yourself relaxed?
Oh my
You farted
God.
during
Oh
our
my
massage.
I
Did they have
hate
a
that
what?
word
I know.
so much.
A cold room.
What is that for?
No, but
you
that
like where
was
you
that was
submerge?
a sound bath. Yes.
Yes, yes. The sound back was the cold water. But you mean to submerge yourself in the
Like
ice?
the cold pool.
There's like this place in the Caesars Spa in Vegas. It's called the Quah.
Some of us have never been
Ooh,
invited to the Quah. Never.
Quah.
Someday maybe.
Yes.
But they have like I think they're called like Roman baths or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so there's all these different like pools, so different temperatures and
Yes.
different like
Ooh.
stone beds that you can sleep on and just
Oh
kind of hang
my.
out waiting for your session. But then they have like a steam room, then they have a hot sauna.
Do they have a salt one?
And then they have this like cold room where it's
Yeah.
like probably 50 degrees, 45 degrees, but it snows lotion.
Oh
And
my
so you can,
gosh.
like, take ice and rub it all over your muscles, and then you can take the lotion and rub it on too. And then
Listen, this is a life we
It's
know
great.
nothing about. Did you
I
not
will
listen to
say-
episode 2
Yeah,
where
but
we come from?
I will say
didn't even know
every
that
time I went to
existed.
Barcelona for like time in between events, there was a place like that, like a bathhouse, and it was dreamy. Now I don't know that I want
Do you feel
lotion
dirty?
on
Like,
my-
how clean are these
very
baths?
clean. You feel like you have that you're like a queen.
Really?
That someone's dropped grapes in your mouth and fanned you off
Yeah.
and taken you to
so
all
you
these
feel
different
very
pools.
fresh.
except for when Kevin comes in and doesn't wear a swimsuit.
Oh,
Then it's a
okay.
Is it swimsuit optional?
It's swimsuit optional. 'Cause
Stop.
It's guys and girls are separate.
So all
Oh.
you're okay. Well, you should just tell your crew when you go next time what the rules are. You know, if you don't want to be shocked.
But that's funny.
The rules are the rules.
Oh, Cass would come without the suit. I will tell you that right now.
And just only for shock effect.
Oh yes, yes.
And then I'd go put it on. I
Yes,
wouldn't.
yes.
They
Nobody.
give you a robe and like cool little slippers.
Yeah.
Oh my
You just-
gosh.
It's great.
Okay.
I did forget
if we
my
get so
suit.
many downloads, we'll go to Caesar's Palace.
That would be a dream because the one I do, and you're listening here.
Hello.
One of the things that we always did in Barcelona in between events was one of those bathhouses, and that was such a form of self care because
Yeah.
when your physical body has to be pushed so much for your job, and just to sit there, I love that they had a salt one and you could float.
Oh yeah.
That's just I want to see
Yeah.
if they have something around here like that. I don't think that they do, where
I
you
haven't
go
heard of it.
They have
for
like
a
those float
treatment.
pods.
The
But they
what?
don't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
like you go for a treatment and you make sure you go 2.5 hours before
No,
to
I've
soak in
never heard of
all
that
the
here.
relaxation.
Yeah.
One time we like drove through the night to get to Vegas, so we showed up at Vegas at like 5. And instead,
Torture.
because you can't book into your hotel until like
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
So we just went straight to the spa and just like took
Naps.
naps.
Who?
on, like,
Who is all of this?
just
Like you
me
and your
Kev
wife?
and
Or
Jesse, just like dude
what?
trip.
Who
Dude
are you?
Trip straight to the spa. That is
Straight.
It's
impressive,
cheaper
man.
than a hotel for that first night.
Yeah.
And you keep your you keep your clothes. You can air out your clothes because you're going in the nude.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you bring clothes with you on trips. So
Yeah.
it's not that big of a deal.
I know. I
Yeah,
wasn't
just
quite
so
sure where
you
she was
br-
going with that.
You know, you
like,
check in and you're
you
like,
do have clothes.
I need
yeah.
to air this out.
Oh yeah. You,
Go into a
'cause
spa.
It's the only outfit
It's
you
the
have
only
for the
one you
whole
have.
weekend.
Have you ever had your
Oh,
luggage
I've
not
done
show
that.
up?
No,
I mean,
but I've forgotten things and
Yes.
had to really wash. We did Remember, we did a whole laundry thing in the
Yeah.
bathtub of a hotel.
yeah.
And I'm not quite sure why, but I think just stinky fitness wear. We're getting back on point. Self-love.
Self-love.
Self-love. So we talked about self-love and how you think, and now we've talked about how you treat your body as well. But some of the other things when it comes to how you treat yourself is choosing good friends who you surround yourself with. Of course, you know that you have some great ones. we know Pidge does now because they spend hours at the spa together.
I'd like to be more in that circle, it turns out.
Exactly. Our friends are a little cheaper.
But I was listening to
friendship and who you surround yourself is a huge way of self-care and self-love, because if you're around people that are not building you up, supporting you, loving you, making you feel better about yourself, you are hanging out with the wrong people.
And how do you know if people either energize you or drain you? You have to think about it after you're leaving. Do I feel refreshed? Do I feel like that was food for the soul, or do I feel like I need to go take a nap because that person just sucked out all my energy? And if they are that person, tell them to get to the end of the line, because you got a long list of people that
or
can be.
You got to go find them.
Yeah.
If they're not
Create
there.
them.
Yeah. There was something I was going to say about that. Can't think of it. So
you
now
have
we're
fantastic friends, and you are a very good friend.
Thank you. So are you, sister.
Sometimes I wonder, because you let people, you're very good at getting the juice.
Oh yeah. I am a listener. So I let people tell me all their problems.
So who do you go to when you have a problem?
I go to you.
Give me your hand.
I just don't have many problems. Just kidding. No, but and of course my husband and, but all of our friends, when we get together, we share, and everyone's supportive of each other and gives love. And, I very much surround myself with people that make me want to be better.
One of our best friends, Angela, she's our 6-footer Vahegian princess.
Goddess.
And during when I was having young babies, so this is 17 years ago, 16 years ago, 15 years ago. No, because I started.
This was after Bridget.
I started, so it was 13 years ago. And I was feeling that lack of friendship in my life. My friends that I grew up with and went to junior high, high school, college with, everybody had kind of dispersed into different groups. As you grow and you grow older, you're interested in different things. And I was feeling like I had a lull of friendship. And I saw Angela at the park just kind of consistently. And I would run into her.
You lived in a similar neighborhood.
Which is interesting because I didn't live in that house for very long.
Just enough time to get yourself a 6-footer Fijian goddess friend.
I needed a Fijian goddess. And I went right up to her.
I'm just, Pidge, sorry, but he got an interesting, it's like he's made a cubby for himself to hide from us.
I may have spilled my drink all around the cup.
You were airing your laptop
You're dripping it out?
Oh my gosh. So we looked over and Pigeon has his laptop
it's like he's made a teepee.
Vertical or whatever, and he's made himself those cubbies, where you're at work and you've got your blinders.
He's taking a test,
Yes. And it's are we offending you?
He's got a number 2 on the right hand. He's penciling in his answers.
Yep.
You taking a quiz over there?
Are you concerned?
How to self-love.
Do you need to put that in
to find
box
better
of rice?
Giant bucket of rice.
Yes. So the dew went on the keyboard.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's diet though.
That's gonna be
no sugar, no steak.
Yeah, it won't
this
be
is a very expensive episode. Good thing it's being sponsored.
That's right. There we go.
Thank you,
cover
Hella.
That's right.
Also, for sure, go buy Hella so I can buy a new laptop.
There we go.
We
for
need
sure.
it for
Help
our job.
Pigeon out.
I walked up to Angela and I said, "You need to come to Zumba, and you and I need to be friends." Just like that.
Oh, I know. You went right up.
I walked right up to her and I just said,
friendship right there.
You and I need to be friends. You're going to come to Zumba. You're going to love it. I know you used to dance because I knew of her in high school. And you're going to love me. Clearly, because we go to the same park at noon. But you can find a new, solid, amazing group of friends.
Absolutely. And do it if you need it. The other thing is to stay connected with your passion. That's another way to love yourself. We all have them. We all have talents and interests and hobbies and things, but if we find ourselves that we're always giving to other people, we're lost in motherhood, we're lost in our occupations, in our relationships, and we're not finding time for that, that you are not doing yourself any favors, and you need to remember what you're passionate about and make time for that.
Yep.
And it will bring happiness into your life. What else do we have after that, Cass?
Well, I was thinking about when I first got married, I think sometimes that is a hard time in people's life because you're bringing two people together and you're trying to become one.
Yeah.
Right? And so you start these new things that you do together. You go to the movie, you have these restaurants that you go to. You have like these, now the couple things that you do.
Yeah.
And I kind of forgot some of the things that I love to do because they weren't convenient. Like, where am I going to like sing and dance?
Yeah.
As a grown woman in a new marriage. So you can have.
There's a white bitch happening with this shirt. Poor
Just
guy
do you,
over there.
Just do you, let me do me.
What psychologists will suggest is finding a passion project. So maybe it's signing up for like a dance class or an art class, or if that passion that you used to do doesn't necessarily fit into your 9 to 5 and in your relationship or into your like occupation or your parenting schedule, you can find a passion project, which is just like more a little dialed down version of it, but it's something for you to get excited about, something for you to look forward to.
And also just reconnecting with that thing. And then if it is something that just totally fuels you, then you'll find time to do that as well. That's awesome. Another thing is goal setting, even just realistic goal setting and realizing that helps build confidence. Because if you are setting little goals for yourself, and they can be small, but you are checking those off, you are going to build more confidence in yourself, which is going to be fueling yourself with happiness. And I think it just starts funneling over into other aspects of your life, and you are more ambitious, I think, more motivated.
I love that.
Yeah. You have anything else? Talk about boundaries, because that is a definite way of self-love.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people, things, and events that can suck your energy in life, make it hard for you to move forward, keep you stuck. And boundaries is something I'm very passionate about because it is in a very healthy way communicating what you want in your life. And you're not selfish by saying, hey, these are my boundaries. And I think that boundaries, people feel a little selfish or they don't know how to communicate it, so it keeps them from doing it.
So
and
worried
they're like,
to hurt other people's feelings as well.
And what's interesting is that person's continuing to hurt your feelings, yet you're so worried about hurting their feelings. And not that it's like a tit for tat thing, but it's, why are you allowing for so much pain in your life?
Or jeopardizing your own happiness because you're afraid that someone might
to
be
have that
offended or
conversation.
something. Yeah.
So I think that it's just lack of education on how to set those boundaries. And you can very much, especially in the past couple of years, there have been a lot of topics where you're like, man, I want to hang out with that friend. But every time I do, we talk about this. And then like, we're better than that, yet I don't know how to get away from it.
Enjoying that experience, yeah.
So it's a very simple thing where you say, hey, and this can be with your time. Hey, I would love to come and help you moving, but I cannot stay 1 minute later than 5 p.m. Let them know in advance, because expectations help people thrive. And then you're not just having this like weird limbo energy where you're like, I don't know, something feels weird. Like, I don't know why they're mad. Well, you haven't informed them of what your boundaries and rules are. I used to always have this with Brian when we were working very heavily together with like Zumba and contracts and flying and rental cars. Like, he'd roll over and be like, hey babe, I got to send that contract over. Are you wanting to stay the night? Are you wanting to fly out the night, right after the event? And I'm looking at him like, I can't believe, like, hey, you want to say hi first?
Yeah.
So rather than just getting mad at him every single morning, I said, babe, I love you and I could not do my job without you, but I won't utter a single word about work until the kids are out the door, until it's 9 a.m. That's when you can come with me to this, to this conversation.
That's awesome.
And that was such a healthy thing for
Because he's
us.
not trying to burden you. It's
No.
just, it's on his mind, so it's so natural. You're
And
right
he's a
there.
taskmaster,
Yeah.
so of course he's trying to help me. He is helping me, and I
not
know that.
realizing that
It's
that's
kind of
actually
weird because
heavy.
I feel like at any time you say Pidge stats
I
now.
know that is true.
Well, you haven't put your boundaries up now, have you?
Exactly.
Whose fault is that?
Isn't that so
It's
true?
mine.
This
yeah.
episode is for
Lesson
you.
learned.
How about you say,
Hey.
at this hour, don't you dare, from
Yeah.
this point to this point, don't you dare ask me for stats or
I did. Remember, we
anything
did
at
give
all.
him, we put a boundary in place. We're like, Pidge, when I say stats now, and I find out later that you're on a date with your wife,
We're kidding about
Put-
the now.
yeah,
Yeah.
throw me an emoji with you and your wife, you know.
Throw
and,
us a boundary.
or say like no on a date. Or you give the emoji
No, it
with
needs
the
to be
boy and
very
the
I
girl.
don't
nice.
like to disappoint.
I know. It needs to be
know.
very nice and say, hi, guys. I sure love you guys, my little sisters.
Thank you so
I'm
much
on a date.
for
I'll
wanting.
get back to you.
Yep. Thank you so much for wanting these stats.
Never respond with aggression or meanness.
Oh yeah.
Or screenshots of
No.
things.
No.
Never.
Didn't
We
I
won't
tell
respond
you?
well. Yeah.
Yeah. So you could
Set
do.
your boundaries, Pidge. We're teaching you today.
But I really hope you don't, because I like stats at
Got
all
it.
times.
Yeah.
It has to work for both. You know. I'm just kidding.
Cass
But-
likes boundaries, but not when
I like to
you
put
give
them-
Yeah. Don't.
I like to give them. I
Put
don't
them
like
on
to
her.
receive them.
Yes,
makes sense,
yes,
yeah.
Right? Seems kind of like the thing. But I
Yeah.
know that, like, for you and I,
That's powerful, though.
there are, just through time, because I know you and I love you and I respect you, like, there are certain just kind of no-fly zones that why would I ever want to damage what we have? Like, either you're building or you're breaking. So that is something that you haven't necessarily had to have a sit down with me, but through time, because you're coming from mutual love and respect, it's when you feel like the respect's out the window where you're like, oh man, I got to have a boundary on this.
Oh, yeah. Usually, I mean, sometimes just when you love each other, you're a little bit more in sync and things just naturally kind of fall into place. But boundaries really are important when you feel burdened by the relationship or it's weighing you down or something isn't working and you're not feeling good. And that's when you need to really set those boundaries. And then you can salvage relationships. You can improve your own self-love and how in your overall happiness if you do it.
People do appreciate the boundaries that,
Oh, yeah.
or like people helping them out. I remember one time I was going through a stressful time. I didn't realize that it was like bleeding into my life. It was really stressful with work and whatnot. And Steve said, hey, I need to talk to you about something and I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I just want to say it because I don't want it to turn into a thing. And he's like, I just feel like the past couple of times that like I've called you, that you've been stressed out. And so I can feel that like on our friendship. And I always come to you for kind of that like happiness and spark of joy. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And, you know, like I appreciated that help so much because I didn't realize it because I was so wrapped up in what was going on. But even if like you come for the fun and then you can dial in later, but you never want to be greeted with all the stress.
No, and when you have a very comfortable relationship, it's very easy to come as you are.
Yep.
And you should be able to do that. But also kind of recognizing sometimes you might be crossing someone else's boundaries, you know? And so that
Or
open
like-
communication is
You don't want to be the
Huge.
constant drain. Come
No.
as you are, but don't be a drain. So
Yes.
find where you can find that balance.
yes.
Because we've gone through really hard things where we've had to kind of, you find that flow where you have to then add in some fun after a real like sad conversation
Oh, yeah,
or
of course. I mean, there's always going to be time in every relationship that you have where you are talking about hard things, and that's
Yeah.
what you're there for, you know? But just also recognizing you don't want to always be that negative energy for that relationship. There's a time and a place for it, and then you need to feed that
Yeah.
person positive
maybe
energy
write
as
in your
well.
journal rather than tell them that day
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
going terrible in your life.
And everyone has a phase and a season, of
Yep.
course. Well, I think that pretty much sums it up, but I just thought in the month of February, as some can find themselves disappointed or sad. You know, my daughter is born on Valentine's Day,
Yep.
actually. And when I was induced, I was scheduled to be induced, and I just thought, is that a good birthday? Because that's kind of like she's at the, someone could break her heart on her birthday. Maybe she liked a boy and thought he was going to give her flowers on her birthday, and he doesn't. And so I thought this could be a good or a bad thing, but because we kind of have a lot of expectations wrapped around Valentine's Day and the month of February or whatever, because it's the love month or whatever. So I just thought if we shifted it and we just thought about self-love and how we can
show up in the world a more loving person.
Exactly, because if we can really dial in on where we're at and feed ourselves these great things, we are going to be a better version in all of our relationships. And of course, our goal is to put out the best version of ourselves to everyone around. So
there have been, I was just thinking about Valentine's Days in the past, and there were so many that, like, Dad would come with Brian and I. We'd go to a movie, go to dinner, because our dad was single up until just a few years before he died. So I spent so many of my Valentine's Day. So Valentine's Day is not always like this big, like, romantic holiday in my eyes. It's like, oh, I could celebrate it the week before, the week after, the day after. It doesn't really matter. But it's a day of love for the people around you.
Yeah, and just kind of focusing on just putting some extra effort in expressing your gratitude and love for the relationships that you have. I remember Ryan and I were going to the movies on Valentine's one time, and we ran into a guy, and he had like his 6 kids with him. And he and his wife and his 6 kids. And he was like, and I was like, oh, it's like a family night. And of course, we've done many Valentines with all of our children too. But he was like, yeah, these are all my Valentines,
Aww.
So, I mean, it is what you make it, really. At the end of the day,
you decide.
If you don't have a man or a partner that's going to bring you something special on Valentine's, then go create it for somebody else and think outside of yourself. But I also just think every time you're seeing those, the heart decorations, everything you're seeing all over the place this month, that could be a reminder of like, what am I doing to love myself more?
Yeah.
And that could just be like a little reminder, because we're going to be seeing it everywhere this month, and we may talk about more things like this on the podcast through the month. But anyway, we love you. We're happy you're here.
I know. We appreciate you. I was just thinking, so it's basically like 2 weeks from yesterday. Yeah, so it's 2 weeks from yesterday, but really 2 weeks from 2 days ago, if you're listening on the day that this is launched.
Yeah. 12 days
so it's
away
not
from
next
the day
Monday.
It's launched.
It's the following Monday.
It's a Monday.
Yeah, it's a Monday. That's why I looked it up. I thought, oh, what day does that actually fall on? Maybe I should get my husband something.
We could have a Valentine's episode next week.
Yeah, and talk about what we did for our self-love.
Okay.
And that would be a great thing for you guys to tag us on. What are different ways that you're showing yourself the mental self-love and the physical self-love of taking care of your heart?
Yeah, your heart, your mind, your body, your spirit,
your soul.
All of it.
Are people tagging you with their sweatshirts yet?
I want to see.
People are happy about their sweatshirts. Our friend Cecilia wore it to my class last night, and she was like, I'm not going to put my jacket on yet, because we like make our way all the way through the gym to the door. I'm not going to, because I want everybody to see my sweatshirt.
Oh, that is so cute. Our mom sent us a bunch of like pictures, and she's like, I don't really know how to pose in this, but it was just so cute.
Different pictures of her in our sweatshirt.
She did one in the mirror, and I think she waited for her husband to get home to take a couple.
She could do the back,
she's just adorable, and she's such a cute little tiny woman.
That reminded me, I had a girl that tagged me, and it was her birthday, and I want to say it's her 40th birthday, and she's a twin, and she was wearing the Little Bits of Awesome sweatshirt on her birthday. And she said, if I would have thought through this, I would have bought one for my twin too. But she said, I'll get her one. But she just sent me a picture of her wearing that on her 40th birthday. And she gets it. She's like, I know it's more than a sweatshirt. It's more about
I love that.
The message, And
did I tell you that on the girls' trip, Brittany was wearing hers?
Oh.
I was like, why didn't I pack mine? I know.
You can't go anywhere without your Little Bits of Awesome sweatshirt.
I regretted it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
regret it. You guys know I like to wear it
Oh,
for days
exactly. I'm
at a
actually
time.
shocked
I
that you
know.
didn't
I
bring
think
it.
it was in the wash.
I think there's like 2 or 3 left
Okay.
Ooh.
of the small mediums.
Hey,
Okay.
hey.
If you're listening, there are 2 or 3 left of the small medium, which is the size that Cass and I wear. It's an oversized fit. It's so comfortable. And
It
it's
is
more
so
than a sweatshirt,
It is.
people.
It's a lifestyle. It's a mantra.
That's right.
And the sizing, like I remember I tried on the large, extra large first, and I was like, oh yeah, it is oversized. I love it. And then I was like, oh, this is the size up. So really, if you're kind of debating, it's supposed to be nice and cozy and comfy. And our little bits of awesome this week. I went to my good friend Chelsea's mom's funeral yesterday. And it was so inspiring.
I love that.
Brian was saying that as a rule of life, you should go to a good funeral like once a year to kind of kick it into high gear, remind you of looking at a life well spent, how you want people to reflect on who you are and what you did and the impact that it made. And there was a lot of emotions seeing her go through that pain. And I cried a lot of tears for her and her family, and it brought up a lot of feelings. And it's just a reminder to not get lost in the small things of life. Ginny Galland loved God, Jesus, and her family. And any activity and anything that brought those 3 things more powerfully in her life, she loved it. And she would say things like, you are so miraculous. And just really talking about who you are, not the things that you do, not the grades that you get. It's who you are. And they've been very successful, and they've done these, like I look at some of the vacations, the amazing things. In fact, Brian was picked up in a helicopter today and flown to the sand dunes to go riding for the day.
Your husband.
Yes. And flown in the helicopter back. So what I thought was fascinating was not one mention talked about anything materialistic. Not one thing. It was talking about nature and family experiences. And what I was trying to channel in it was not feeling bad about myself, about, oh my gosh, I am definitely falling short on a lot of those motherhood things, but encouraging myself and being inspired.
Yeah.
Like, how great to have an example like that.
And that's what Brian means of like, going to a funeral obviously is so heartbreaking, but it also just makes you realize what's important and what people really need from you, and what you want to leave behind is how you make them feel.
8
and the love
kids.
they feel from you.
8 kids. Each of them spoke. The musical numbers were something off of like, you pay money to go to that kind of concert. 8 kids, and every single one of them mentioned that this day is to honor their mom, but their mom would have chosen to honor them. And each single person that was there, and the love that they are, and the beauty that they are.
That's awesome.
I loved that they all felt that it was never, that she never had
it wasn't
to
about her.
Yeah.
It was always about others.
Yep.
That's cool.
That's
pretty definitely
amazing.
Awesome.
She also said she was loved education. I know we're probably going over, but she, something that reminded me of Dad was that whenever there was something that people would report to her that was like cool or neat or amazing or inspiring, she would say, okay, now perfect. Now go and write that down.
I know.
Go and write that down and find how you can apply it to your life. And I was like, yes, I really love that. I don't know.
It's true, because you go and do things that are really impactful or inspiring or whatever, and we can very easily forget it. So being able to reflect back on it is always good. It's a good reminder so that you're continuing to hold on to that memory, you know, and that impactful moment.
Make it last, make it stick. So
I'm terrible at that.
Yeah, me too.
So we're gonna work on that.
Yep.
That's
we
awesome.
are gonna work. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in.
We love you, and we will see you next time.
Bye.